What should this customer do more of, Mike?
Oil changes.
Oil changes, people. This isn't supposed to be dark brown in here.
That varnish.
No significant sludge buildup, but it is slimy compared to what it should look like. Were the plug wells full of oil at all?
No, completely dry.
That's good.
Seems it never rains in Southern California.
Firewall trims. Yeah.
It's all that heat.
Sure not to get any of that in the head.
Yeah.
Here's a new grill. We're going to remove the old one now, which is only slightly pitted. It's a 55,000 mile 01 M5. But what the hell? Why would somebody butyl tape in $70 grills? Now I have to spend 40 minutes picking all this shit off. Okay, that took forever to get all that butyl tape off, but it is 100% gone. And we've got nice, fresh kidney grills that are snapped in instead of taped in. And let go of the hood. Fresh hood struts, fresh trunk struts, fresh engine filters, and wiper blades. So kind of all the piddly stuff. These parts are just starting to trickle in after we made the big order on Tuesday or Wednesday, I think late Tuesday night. So this is the 55,000 mile 2001 that came in for an MPI. He owns the M3 as well, and we did the MPI and presented the results. He's like, yeah, let's just do it. Let's restore the car and make everything perfect. So that's the goal. Nothing too major. We've got rear upper control arms. We're going to be doing the expansion tank purely for cosmetic reasons. That came in today. All fluids, all filters. I think the front and rear windshield seals, hood roundel, trunk roundel, various interior trims. One of the bulbs on the information display there, maybe you can see on camera, the right side is much brighter than the left. So we're just going to do all 5 bulbs with fresh so they all match. We are taking out the drive shaft and removing the exhaust to do the shifter carrier bushings. I put a 545i shifter in for him a couple of years ago now. This is one of the first cars we did as we transitioned to service. So we did the Eisenman race mufflers, Rogue Engineering Diablo resonated X-pipe. It's been in here a couple times, but this will definitely be the big service to really spiff this thing up, which is going to be exciting when it's done. Otherwise today, more work on the 2000 anthracite. Fresh windshield went in yesterday. Today it was tinted, just like the rest of the car. We did this for him a year or two ago, and he got a chip, big chip in the windshield, ironically on the way home from here, just after the tint was installed, of course. So it's done, now pending our pre-delivery inspection, belly pan reinstallation. I got the A-pillars back in, bit of a cleanup, and then I think it's going to be picked up on Saturday, so that'll be nice to get one more done and gone. Le Mans Blue, isn't that a freaking gorgeous color? I'm getting Luke vibes right now with the pre-facelift taillights. Excellent condition, though not quite as minty fresh as Luke's is. Doing the valve cover gaskets. Mike got the majority of that done today. We're short one of the thicker grommets that goes on the front of the engine, so that's due tomorrow. All the old stuff, literally plastic. The valve cover gasket cannot be held out to support its own weight. It just cracks and breaks apart like really old dry plastic. So we did the evaporative purge valve. He had a code for that, and the little elbow that plugs into that, the hose broke, but you could buy the connector separately. So that's having to be overnighted from not Minooka, Illinois, the other one, Nazareth, Pennsylvania. So hopefully we see that tomorrow. If not, it will delay him into Monday a little bit. We're doing the engine firewall trims for obvious reasons. Those are totally destroyed. So we're close on this. We did a rear sway bar bracket that was broken today, and I've already done all the interior trims and cosmetic stuff. So that one should be gone on Monday. The 2000 carbon black that's getting its transmission resealed right now. Work scope continues to expand, and that's what happens when you rip the driveline out of a car. Every piece you take off, you find a need for service. This is a 170-some thousand mile car that completely lives outside. And we've got everything hanging in pieces right now because we're doing the differential bushings, but I ordered them 10 days ago. They're coming from FCP on the East Coast, and they're not here yet. So tomorrow those should be able to go in. We're doing a rear main seal. He approved that. He did not approve the clutch line. So we're just going to kind of tape that up as best as we can and hope that continues to last for a while. But really the waiting game is with the transmission. I'm going to have to reach out to my sublet and see when it's done. Here is a black E39 comfort seat out of my 540. This is the passenger seat. Started a bit of a project on that car. Headliner's coming out tomorrow and is going to my sublet to get rewrapped in gray. I'm not changing the color. It's all ready to come out. It's in the car, simply held up by the weather stripping door gasket seal thing. That kind of holds it. But the visors are out, visor clips, little center console up there on the headliner with the home link panel, that's all out. C-pillars, B-pillars, A-pillars, you name it. I already did the rear parcel shelf, so thank God we don't have to rip the whole seat out and the headrest and all that crap to do the shelf. The shelf's already black. That's how it's supposed to be on a 540 with a black interior, but the rest of it will be done. So the C-pillars crumbled apart, multiple pieces, even during my most careful of removal attempts. So crawled up into the attic, pulled down some Alcantara B-pillars out of an 02 M5, and we'll have those rewrapped in gray. A-pillars were destroyed as well. I knew that. I saw that coming, and I want the tabs to be nice and tight here in the middle, so it's a nice flush line, doesn't bow out in the middle. So I have new ones inside. Those took 4 weeks to get from Germany, but I was proactive with that. Anyways, though, the seat is out for a couple of reasons. One, I wanted to get under there, do a deep clean in the carpet. It really wasn't too bad, but I did that. Two, something in this seat, there's 2 rattles that my 540 has, and it does it about 5 to 8% of the time. It's not a lot, but it's enough to bug me. Thing number 1 is something in this seat. If I shove my hand between the backrest and the bottom rest, it kind of stops while I'm driving, and it has to be over the right texture road at the right speed, and something just kind of resonates and clicks a little bit. When we got under here, I found out that I saw shadow codes in the car for this, but the occupancy mat or occupancy detector had that code. So someone has unplugged that from the car and put in this little jumper thing that just tells it that there's a person in the car all the time. I'm completely fine with that solution. Tearing the seat down and putting in an $800 thing is just not a solution I'm willing to undertake, especially since I am excited to eventually replace these seats with heated black sports seats in equal or better condition. It's just a matter of finding those. So anyways, this plug was just shoved down in here and kind of loose and maybe could rattle against the springs in the seat. So I took it out, I wrapped it in some of this actually genuine BMW wire silencing tape, as I'm calling it, and zip tied it up here, so that can't rattle anymore. Then the electrical connection in the occupancy sensor plug kind of rattled around, so I put some butyl tape around that. I know that's not an ideal solution after just bitching about butyl tape in bad applications, but short of replacing the whole thing, that's going to be fine. And additionally, while it's out, somebody had repaired the seat twist on this seat before, but very, very poorly. They were just cut right here and then duct tape around it to hold the cables together. Not okay. So we see that all the time, and our solution has become using this fuel hose, which actually works really well. So it's glued on there. We got the perfect amount of cable sticking out, and then it's zip tied for additional strength. You can pull this as much as you want. It's not coming apart. So for this seat, that's fine. We did all 4 cables and had to make 3 repairs. You can see more fuel hose down there and up here on that cable as well. So I don't see anything else that's loose. I don't see anything else that can rattle. I wouldn't be surprised if this has made no difference, but at least I have tried now. So generally when I remove headliners from an E39, they're black. They're Alcantara or they're black cloth or something. And if you get, a speck of dirt or dust on it, you don't see it, and it's not a problem. But with the gray, I'm going to go through like 40 pairs of gloves putting that in, and I'm probably still going to get little smudges in that material. It's like having white seats in a car. There's just no way to keep it perfectly clean. But to help the cause of keeping it clean, removing the front passenger seat will allow me to sneak the headliner out of the rear right door a little bit easier, with less stuff in the way, less bending, and less rubbing on the door sills. So hopefully that helps. I'm not going outside in the cold right now, so pretend this is my 540. But now I'm looking, and it's like, oh, the A-pillars are off, and I'm about to put a set on that are going to be perfect. And if I need to remove those in 6 months or 2 years or 5 years, I'm probably going to break them, because that center clip, it's just impossible to remove. And the windshield's got a chip in it, and it's got scratches on it, and it's totally pitted. And like, now's the time to do that, right? I just got to pull the wiper arms and the cowl. A-pillars are out. I take the rearview mirror off. Can have the mobile guys come and do it next week. So I haven't made any formal decisions yet, but I am thinking I'm just going to do the windshield now. Took the sunroof glass out, which Mike, I think, moved over here. It's all scratched up on the top, so I'm going to replace that with a used piece that I have, I think, over here. dig one of those out tomorrow, just get one with less scratches in it. Somebody must have just set a lot of really heavy stuff up here, but it's got big scratches and scuffs in it. So we'll replace that with a used one. Then the seal around it, whoever put that on did a really shitty job and they didn't get the seam in the middle. So I bought a seal today that I'll have tomorrow, and we'll replace this rubber seal around the sunroof. And finally, every time I get in the car, I can just look through the glass on the 540 and see all this powder and dust and sand and shit on top of the sunroof slider, which I generally keep closed. So I was very happy today to be able to remove that slider after removing the glass and clean the hell out of the inside. And now it's nice and black again with no dust. There's been body work. The roof's been painted on the top. Emailing with the previous owner, I found out that some tree fell on it during a storm, caused damage right here, and the roof was all dented. So it's been repaired. I don't see any dents in it. The body looks straight and all that, but the paint's just shit, as I've said multiple times. So I'm not going to deal with that. I mean, now's the time with windshield out and headliner out. Oh boy, I'm getting ideas. But no, it's thousands of dollars, and that does not need to look perfect. It would be money wasted. So we are going to replace the seal, fresh glass, and a clean slider. On the 540, I pulled out the lower B pillars today because you have to take those out to get to the upper B pillars, and I noted a whole bunch of scratches and like gouges in each one, probably from the seats coming out before the rails hit, and just mark them up. So crawled up into the attic and found that I had 4 nearly mint condition lower B pillars, 2 lefts and 2 rights. So now the M5's got B pillars manufactured in 2012, pretty much flawless, which I'm happy about, and the slightly less perfect set will go in the 540, and both are upgrades over what was in there before. It just keeps coming. So I replaced these little inserts, little trim sills, like 3 or 4 years ago, and removing the one today to get the lower B pillar out, I put a big crack in it. Well, I had another set because I saw a small crack there a few weeks ago, and I changed, or a few days ago rather, when I changed out these buckles. So they went in today. Now I've got these side pieces, these side bolsters out, because mine, they're supposed to have these little metal things on the back that snap over this and hold them nice and tight. This one broke probably 5 years ago. And when doing, what did I just do this? Yeah, the headliner project, the other side broke as well, and I am hearing some rattles from that, which I don't like. So I bought a set from Adam out in Maryland. They're in good shape. They're Silverstone. In about any other car, they'd be fine to go in. My leather is softer. So we're going to switch the leather from my original panels, which aren't even original. They're dated 2001 because in 2003 or something, the owner stated the leather wasn't black enough and talked the BMW dealer into replacing every stitch of leather inside the car in 2003. So those have already failed because they've been in and out so many times. So we'll swap the leather over to the other ones and snap them in and hopefully not have to remove them for 10 more years. So final clip, I'm going to have a very chilly ride home because I have no sunroof and no slider. It is 52 degrees out here. And I don't even have the little deflector up because the sunroof is in the closed position. So I will rob the switch out of the door pocket, plug it in, open it, so at least I get the little deflector that pops up and hopefully get less noise. But I'm gonna wear the extra jacket. I don't have heated seats yet to turn on, so we'll just blast the heat and cruise home.